Hello, my name is Carla. What brings you in today?
Well, I've never owned a gun before, and I'm looking to buy my first one.
Do you know if you prefer a long gun or a handgun?
A friend of mine took me to a practice range, and I'm pretty sure I want to go with a handgun. However, I'm not sure how to judge which one would work best for me. I do know that I want something small and lightweight.
These models here have the features you're looking for. Would you like to see one out of the case?
Sure, that'd be great. How about that one right there?
Here you go. This seems to be a very popular model with our female clients. Actually, I own an older version of the same model line. How does it feel?
I like how it feels. I think I'll go ahead and take it.
Great. I just need to check your ID and have you fill out some paperwork.
Sure. Will my social security card work as ID?
Actually, I don't think so. Mr. Lucas, does a social security card serve as a valid form of ID?
Good question, Carla. A social security card is not a valid form of identification. Federal law requires that we obtain a government-issued photo ID, driver's license, or an identification card issued by a state in place of a license. These forms of identification must show photograph, address, date of birth, and signature. If the buyer is a member of the armed forces on active duty acquiring a firearm in the state where his or her permanent duty station is located, but he or she has a driver's license from another state, you should list the buyer's military identification card and official orders showing where his or her permanent duty station is located.
Here's my driver's license.
21. Just old enough.
Really? I didn't know that. I thought you only had to be 18.
You need to be 18 for a long gun like a rifle or shotgun, but you must be 21 to have a handgun transferred to you by a licensed dealer. Now I just need you to complete this form.
Okay, what's this?
This is ATF Form 4473. You have to fill it out to purchase a handgun.
Actually, Carla, it's required for any transaction involving the transfer of any firearm by a federal firearms licensee. A non-licensed buyer, meaning anyone without a federal firearms license, is required to fill out, sign, and date Section A in its entirety. In conjunction with the NICS background check, this verifies the legality of transferring a firearm to a customer. Then, we fill out the rest and retain the original for our records, whether the transaction goes through or not.
Okay, I've finished filling it out. Here you go.
Great, everything appears in order here. Right, Mr. Lucas?
Yes, Carla. Now we just have to wait for the NICS background check to come back. However, Miss Berg, we must inform you that even if we receive a proceed response from NICS, which means we can transfer the firearm to you, like many other states, ours has a mandatory waiting period for the transfer of certain firearms. Our wait period is 1 week for handguns, but in other states, it can be as long as 4 weeks. Some states also require you to apply for a permit to purchase before obtaining a firearm, while others require a satisfactory grade on a safety test.
I don't think that coming back next week will be a problem, but what happens if I can't get back exactly 7 days from now?
We'll just hang on to the firearm until you return. However, if more than 30 days pass between running the NICS check and the actual pickup of the firearm, we must run another NICS check. Also, if a customer decides to purchase an additional firearm after the original purchase is finalized, and even within the 30-day time frame, we must run another NICS check. In other words, we must run a check for each separate transaction. Now, why don't you and I look at the second part of the form? Section B is where we record information from the buyer's photo ID and fill out the NICS response information. Section C is where the transferee must sign if they pick up their purchase on a day other than the day on which they filled out Section A. Since our state has a mandatory waiting period, we always use this section. Finally, Section D is where we record the information for the firearm being transferred and sign to verify the transfer. In this case, since you handled the transaction, you will need to fill out Section B now. When Ms. Berg returns next week to pick up her purchase, she must then sign Section C, and the person from our store actually transferring the firearm will fill out and sign Section D.
What about ammunition? Do I have to fill out anything when I buy ammunition?
No. We simply ask what type of firearm you want the ammunition for, a handgun or a long gun, and then check your photo ID to verify that you are old enough to purchase the ammunition for the intended firearm. If you were buying it for a rifle or shotgun, for example, you would have to be 18. Since this ammunition is for a handgun, we have to verify that you're 21.
Excellent. I'll take 3 boxes. I intend to go to the range on a regular basis. Also, I want to see about getting a safety lock for the handgun. Do you sell them?
Actually, the manufacturer provides a safety lock with this model. Indeed, many manufacturers now provide either this type of lock or something similar with new firearms. If you are looking for a handgun lockbox, safe, or vault in addition to the safety lock, we have a great selection. Federal law requires all dealers to have secure gun storage or safety devices available at any place where firearms are sold to non-licensees.
No, that's okay. I'm happy with the lock for now. My nephew visits from time to time, and I just wanted to make sure that I could store the gun in a safe condition.
That's good thinking on your part. And remember, while the lock does a good job of protecting your firearm from unwarranted use, you should still never store your gun loaded, and you should always lock up your ammunition separately. Since you are a first-time handgun owner, we recommend that you take a safety class to learn about safe use and storage. We offer classes here, and they are also available at many shooting ranges and sporting goods stores, and through a wide variety of shooting sports organizations. Here's a pamphlet that details our class offerings. Additionally, take a look over there on the wall at the Youth Handgun Safety Act notice. The notice is required by federal law for all federal firearm licensees to post at their place of business to help inform the public about youth handgun safety and safe gun storage. To help further explain youth handgun safety, I can provide you with a written pamphlet regarding this act. Also, remember to carefully read the documentation and owner's manual that come with your handgun. If you ever have any questions about the safe use or storage of any firearm, most dealerships, practice ranges, and shooting organizations will be more than happy to answer them. Here's your receipt for the handgun, Miss Berg. Be sure to bring both it and a photo ID with you when you pick up your purchase.
Remember, to transfer a firearm, federal law requires that firearm dealers obtain a government-issued photo ID that includes the customer's name, address, signature, and date of birth. Valid forms of ID include a driver's license, a passport, or a military ID with photo. Additionally, keep in mind that filling out a Form 4473 and running a NICS check are not required for ammunition sales. However, it is unlawful to knowingly sell ammunition to a person who is under 18, and it is unlawful to sell handgun ammunition to a person who is under 21.